skipper's done it. Danaher! Beautiful chapter it is for the Bombers.
David, pretty happy this morning, I guess, after a great win.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks have been nice for us to play some good footy together and put some things in place. Some things that have worked that were put in place on the training track. So pretty much a 4-quarter effort yesterday, barring sort of a little patch there during the game. But it's nice to get a win and hold a good big lead. Obviously against Geelong last week, we let them back in the game in that last quarter, and yesterday we sort of held it throughout the whole game, and that was a positive.
Was the consistency the biggest positive out of it all?
Yeah, definitely. Our first half in our last 3 games, even over in Fremantle, was actually quite nice to have a good start to the game, but then our second halves have lacked a bit of that intensity and consistency over 4 quarters. So yesterday was great to sustain that effort, but we're still building. We've still got a lot of improvement in us. We're only just sitting above 500 at the moment, so a lot of improvement in us, but it was good to be on the right path with that second half yesterday.
We were going through some of the second quarter stats just before. When was the last time you played a quarter like that?
Yeah, it was powerful footy out there. To get on top of a side like West Coast, they're such a great side, and they got a lot of talent in the midfield there, but our midfield stood up really well yesterday, and we smashed them in contested ball, which was a great stat for us, and Louis in the ruck in the middle was giving us mid's first use. I think we won centre clearances about 10, I think, but that was due to him just getting up there in the ruck and giving us midfield was the first use to get in our forward line, and then we could lock the ball in there. So our game pretty much started from there, and it continued on.
You looked on top pretty early. When did you sort of feel, here we go, we're right on here and we're on top of these guys?
Yeah, I don't know the exact point you'd get to that situation, but it did feel powerful out there, where our contest work was really strong, and as I said, the contested footy, our tackling was strong again, and that's what we're really training at the moment. All our contest work, because that's where the game starts. If you can win more stoppages than you lose and get the ball in your forward line, you can set the ground up for there. And a lot of footy, a lot of teams that win, the footy's played in their forward half, and that's the important aspect that we need to keep working on, and that comes from winning the contest.
That contested ball's been where West Coast have let themselves down against Richmond and Hawthorn previously. Was that a big focus going in, and you knew if you could get on top of that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it wasn't specifically for against West Coast. It was more just that's where we want to build as a side. We want to finals footy's played in the contest and bigger games later in the year. So we want to make sure we're building towards that, and that's what we've been working on the training track. It's been all about contest work and hard physical play. That's the side we want to be, and we know we're not there yet, but as long as we can keep providing games like we did yesterday, we're going to be on the right path to getting there.
You've had to integrate a whole lot of guys, obviously, into the group this year. Do you finally feel like you're starting to feel a bit more settled as a group and where you are and positionally as well? Yeah,
it's a different dynamic. It's completely unprecedented, the guys coming back and younger guys that never played with them. So we're pretty much a group that's only played 9 games together and had a pre-season. So as Bush, I think, said after the game, we are building and we've got a lot of work to do. We did a lot of stuff in pre-season, and now we're fixing a lot of things as the season's going along. So that contest work, as I said, that's a massive thing for us. And just having a dynamic of a group, we've got a lot of older guys, but then a lot of younger guys too. So it's just getting that mix right. And we've changed our lineup a lot this year, and sort of in the last 2 weeks, it's really clicked for us, and the side we've had in, it's been great and it's worked for us.
September was always the goal pre-season, but does it feel more achievable now you've seen what your best footy can be, if that makes sense?
I mean, September's a goal every year, so it's not just specifically this one, but I think at the moment we're still only 5 and 4, so we are building. We've been inconsistent. We've lost a couple of games that we didn't play our best footy at all, and then the last 2 weeks we've played some pretty good footy. So as I said, with that consistency across the whole board, that's what we're striving for, and whatever happens later in the year happens, but we've just got to focus on, it's a cliche, we've got to focus on week to week, because we aren't that consistently great side yet, but that's what we're definitely building towards.
Well, West Coast flatter than what you'd expected from them yesterday?
Not flatter. I think it was a great effort from us, not allowing them to play the way they wanted. They've got some big bodies in the inside, in the midfield, and I think it was more our speed and our effort to get to the contest worked well for us yesterday, and able to get the ball forward. So it wasn't that they were flat or anything. I think we just played the way we wanted to play and got the game on our terms.
So getting on top of guys like Mitchell and Shuey, Prittis as well, how much confidence does that give particularly your younger midfielders going through there?
Yeah, it gives a great confidence. I think Waller and Raz are coming in there as forwards and creating a lot of dynamic and speed. Waller can chase down, tackle anyone in the forward line, and when he does it in the midfield, it's just even more powerful around the ball. So I think our midfield depth is what is building this year, and we're having a lot more rotations through there and getting a lot more guys through there, which is enabled us to keep a lot of speed on the game. And yeah, you've seen that last couple of weeks that it's been great, and yeah, I think just our depth is something that's building quite strong at the moment.
Those young quick guys get the crowd going as well. You had a pretty good crowd there yesterday.
Yeah, pretty good crowd, exactly. 36,000 there on a Sunday at 110's a great crowd, and I mean 65,000 members. It's been awesome this year so far. The fans have been terrific, and this week's another big game, Dreamtime. So it's not our home game, so hopefully the fans can turn out. We can get more Essendon supporters there than Richmond.
They got stuck into Sam Mitchell as well. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the fans sort of, they don't forget things, so they boo, they can boo all they want. Yeah, they have their own say too.
On a personal level, I mean, good to seem like you enjoyed perhaps spending a bit more time around the ball than you had been. Would that be fair? Yeah, it's sort of, as I said, with the mix of rotations now, we're getting a lot more guys going through there, and it's been great. But it's only been a couple of weeks, so yeah, as myself, as long as the whole team, just want to build that consistency of high performances each week, high intensity performances, rather than sort of ups and downs. You probably had a few weeks where you maybe hadn't reached the heights that you had at different stages early in last year. Were you worried about your position at any time, or were you always pretty confident you'd recapture that form? Oh, I mean, yeah, I knew I wasn't playing great footy, so you're always confident that you can still play. And a couple of guys have been great here. I've played with Hurl since I was 15, so me and Hurl's had a great little chat, and he just reminded me of the great footy I can play. And yeah, and along with Job too. So I wasn't necessarily stressed about my spot. I knew I wasn't playing good footy. So whether that happened, that happened. But yeah, it's just good the last couple of weeks. I got that consistency and back. And as I said, it's only been 2 weeks. So hopefully a few more performances can happen like that.
Should get a line on Joe Danaher as well. How exciting has he been the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Joe, he's an unbelievable talent. He's 6'6", and he I don't know, he tackles in the forward line. He kicked a couple of snaps yesterday from forward line pressure, and we know Joey can take a big mark or big pack mark on the lead and kick a goal from 50, but it's when he's putting the forward line pressure and he's tackling around the goal line and really putting sides under pressure and then getting his goals from that. That's when he just becomes an even better player. He's not just a one-trick pony. He's a guy that can do a lot of things around that forward line, and he's so dangerous for us. Kick goals on the run, set shots, but then also, yeah, as I said, tackle pressure around the forward line where he creates opportunities for the team. It's great. Joe, like yourself, I think in a pretty similar position, both out of contract at the end of this year. Does it decision become a bit easier when you can see where the club's going at the moment? Yeah, I mean, that's something that obviously he's going to take course as the season goes on. I'm not really worried about it at the moment. I was sort of out of form, so I just wanted to worry about getting back in form and doing things right to do that. So, yeah, there's a few guys out of contract, but that happens every year. So, whatever happens is going to happen.